excavators, and more. Reserve online at eaglerentals.com. That's eaglerentals.com.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Good morning and welcome to the 50th show of Heart Mooresville here on WSIC News. I'm your host, Christine Patterson, and we're playing balloon volleyball this morning because we're celebrating. Good morning to my co-host, Don Smyle.
Good morning, co-host. 50. Wow.
50.
That's amazing.
It's flown by because you know what? Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
Isn't that right? Well, we are so excited to be celebrating 50 shows. This is it's been so much fun and meeting a lot of new people.
Thank you to the 50 listeners. We appreciate your support.
We hope 50, maybe less. No, we appreciate those of you who do listen, and we hope we're bringing some good information to you. And I love meeting new people every week.
Yeah, we have fun. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So.
Although our guest this week is not new, I have obviously met Randy Miller before, but Randy Miller is our guest. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning. How's everybody?
Good. And Randy is one of our supervisors over at the Charles Mack Citizen Center, and he helps lead the event services team. The Charles Mack is a 62,000 square foot facility located in downtown Mooresville. We're going to talk more with Randy and all about what they do there, what types of events they host. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, before we do, we will have the 50th segment of In the News. All right. There we go.
Pregnant pause.
I love it.
Yeah.
He was so
It was
mesmerized
okay.
by the 50th show, he didn't even know what to do.
That's right. We got some In the News, this music. I
All
love
right,
it.
So the Mooresville Oracle is going to begin 2025. I can't even believe I'm saying that.
I know.
2025.
It's crazy.
So tell us, what is going on, Christine?
All right. Well, I've been scanning the headlines to bring you the info. And one thing that caught my eye is American Pickers is coming back to North Carolina.
Yeah, I love that show.
I love that show. So it's a show on History Channel, if you don't know. They've been to North Carolina and Mooresville, well, the region before. It was actually a couple years ago. But they're coming back in February of this year, and they're looking for leads. So if you have a lead or know someone that's got hidden treasures, you got a old barn out back full of all kinds of old stuff, they're looking for the leads. You can always email AmericanPickers@cineflix.com. And they're going to be recording episodes throughout the state. So that's exciting.
Time to clean out your closet.
I know, right? All the old stuff.
I remember many years ago when they came to the NASCAR Hall of Fame in downtown Charlotte and did some picking for them.
Yeah.
And just kind of a backstory. I actually worked for the NASCAR Hall of Fame for a year before they opened. And my job was to be a picker, meaning my job was to go out and find all of the artifacts that are now in the Hall of Fame.
We have an American picker right here in the
Wow.
studio.
A majority of the things that you see in the Hall of Fame, I helped actually put there.
Oh, nice.
And also, on a side note, I actually have a little side hustle from my years in racing and NASCAR, and I license motorsports photography. I have a collection of motorsports photography, about 200,000 photos dating back to the 1950s. And I've licensed images to American Pickers, the television show.
Yeah, so those of you that don't know, Don has like everything. Motorsports, NASCAR, like it is insane how many photos, memorabilia. He's got it all. I can't imagine what your garage looks like.
No, and my wife keeps asking me, what are you going to do with all this stuff when we retire? And the honest answer is I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm having conversations with people that I know in the industry to try to figure out what to do with all this stuff because it is, I call some of it's made of unobtainium.
Yeah, because you can never
can't get
find it.
You can't get it.
It's one of a kind,
irreplaceable, et cetera, et cetera.
That's right.
But anyway,
Well,
so that's my connection to the American Picker Show.
Very
Nice.
cool. Well,
Nice.
send them those leads. Hopefully, maybe we'll get them into Mooresville. All right. Well, the next story was a little nostalgic for me because I, as a kid, went to this store with my grandmother all the time. And I used to love it because I always bought stickers. But the store's called Roses.
I remember Roses.
Do you remember Roses?
No, I'm from
yeah.
Texas. We didn't have them there, but
Well, I will
I've
tell
heard
you
about
that my connection to Roses was they were the ones that had the best NASCAR diecast.
Oh.
And they would have drops of new die cast. And I remember having to, like, my wife and I would make pilgrimages to the Roses store every whatever day it was to go get the
Nice.
latest and greatest die cast.
Okay.
And I still have all of it.
And it's random what they had. Like they had this random stuff, but I just
Yeah.
remember as a kid loving stickers. Now, Joe, did you go to Roses as a kid?
I do not know what Roses is.
What? It was kind of like a Walmart.
It was like a small Walmart.
but cooler.
Yeah, it was cooler.
Definitely cooler.
You know.
Well, there's not a lot. I think there are still a few.
I've seen a few around, but they are few and far between.
Well, so the story is that the parent company of Roses, which is Variety Wholesalers, so they're actually buying up all 200, between 200 and 400 Big Lot stores. So you may have seen that our Mooresville Big Lot store is closing, and I'm sure they're one of those, 400 that are being purchased by the parent company of Roses. And this company has stores like Bargain Town, Bill's Dollar Stores, Maxway, Roses Express, because they have Roses Express now. Never been in one of those. Super Dollar and Super 10. So we'll see what that turns
It's
into.
interesting to me that Roses, who I don't even see anymore, is buying Big Lots, which I see everywhere.
I know.
Right?
It's strange, right?
Seems like it would be the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, and that company's based out of like Raleigh or Winston-Salem somewhere. So it's a North Carolina-based company. So you would think that they would want to keep most of the stores on the East Coast at least.
Yeah.
If they were going to make it like a regional type of company, they would want to keep those stores on the East Coast. So
Yeah. But we'll see what happens.
greater chance that ours could be saved.
We'll see.
But,
Yeah,
we'll
when I was
see.
growing up, Roses and Belks and Sears and, all those companies that you don't even see anymore.
No.
There's
Right.
very few Belks. I don't think there's any Sears.
No.
I don't think Sears is around.
No, I haven't
No.
seen a Sears
Did you
in
know
a
you
long
used to
time.
be able to order like houses from Sears and Roebuck?
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
after the turn of the century. And
I know
stuff?
you could order like almost everything.
Almost
Yeah,
everything.
their catalog
Yeah.
was like 5,000 pages long. You
Yeah.
could order
Yeah.
boats and houses. And
was
cars
insane.
I didn't know you
and-
could order a house.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
Well, I wish they would bring a Roses back. I would actually enjoy that, but we'll see what happens to it. Next story is the Mooresville superintendent, Jason Gardner, and got together with some Iredell County Chamber presidents and kind of shared plans for 2025. And there were a couple initiatives that I pulled out that I thought were interesting and wanted to share. So there's the school system, Mooresville Graded, has two new initiatives that I think are just super, super important. One is it's their Career Development Plan initiative. So every student will work through a variety of activities in middle school to develop an initial career plan, and by the end of their 8th grade year, they'll also have additional exposure to career options that they're interested in, and they'll be able to know actually what they want to do, hopefully by high school. I think that's really important for kids to know what jobs are out there to be able to make more informed decisions.
Well, I hope they know what they're doing because I didn't know what I was doing when I got to high school.
No.
I still don't know what I want to do with my
Yeah.
life.
I changed my major probably officially 8 times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids out there that graduate college and still don't know what they want to do with their
Yeah.
life. So that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
And,
Yeah.
and it's amazing how many people graduate from college and don't use that degree.
Yeah, it's
Right.
true.
right.
My wife got a marketing degree and she's in healthcare. Has nothing to do with what she did.
Yeah.
In college.
Yeah.
So
But this might help with that,
Yeah.
so I think it's important they're doing that.
Mhm.
But we need to go to break, so we'll finish up that story when we come back, and we'll be right back here on WSIC News with Heart Mooresville.
happy 50th!
Woo!
Stay in the know with all things Mooresville. Heart Mooresville continues next on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, keep an eye out for a few slick spots and a little bit of black ice, mainly north of the lake for the early morning travel. Otherwise, sunshine comes back today. It's still cold, though, with high temperatures into the low 40s and a bit breezy for our Tuesday afternoon as well. Temperatures go back down to around 20, even some upper teens around the outlying spots and farms tonight. We're cold, low 40s for our Wednesday. Tracking our next potential winter weather system on the way by Friday and into Saturday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The app with Lake Norman deals. The WSIC app is out now, wherever you get your apps.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Karaoke is back at Micaiah's Bar on Thursday, January 9th. You asked, and Micaiah's came through with CJ the DJ. Karaoke starts at 8 p.m. and ends when everyone stops singing. Bring your performance, no matter how good or bad you think you are. Come have a night full of fun with karaoke at Micaiah's in Mooresville on Thursday, January 9th. Friday night, Callista Jade will perform at the Wine Maestro in downtown Statesville. The singer and guitarist will begin her set at 7 p.m. Come on out for a fun night Friday at the Wine Maestro in Statesville. This Saturday is the Chili Plunge and Chili Cook-Off at the Lake Norman YMCA. This free, family-friendly event promises to be lots of fun, whether you take the waterfront plunge or hang out enjoying homemade chili and s'mores. Post-plunge, you are welcome to warm up in the YMCA sauna or steam rooms. Proceeds benefit the YMCA annual campaign. Register for the Chili Plunge and Chili Cook-Off at ymcacharlotte.org. 'Tis the season to lace up your skates at Birkdale on Ice, happening now through January 26th. For the third year, Birkdale Village in Huntersville has an ice skating rink, and they can't wait to lace up their skates with you. Ice skating reservations to ensure skating time slots are accepted. Walk-ups are also welcome. Go to BirkdaleVillage.com for details, information, and tickets to Birkdale on Ice. Get behind the wheel and drive a NASCAR race car at Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you don't want to drive, go for a NASCAR ride-along. The NASCAR racing experience is as real as it gets. There is no lead car to follow, and no instructor rides with you when you drive. Book your NASCAR racing experience today at 704-886-2400. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for details and more information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Mooresville, how we feeling? Good. Welcome back to Heart Mooresville on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
All right, welcome back to Heart Mooresville on WSIC. I'm your host, Don Smyle, along with New Year baby Christine Patterson.
Yes.
So, what did everybody do over the holidays? Anything fun, Christine?
I really just, I saw family, but
Right.
I tried to rest, and I did not spring cleaning, but I guess New Year's cleaning.
Yeah, I did the same. I cannot sit still. I'm just one of those people.
Me too.
And so it was like cleaning things that never get cleaned and getting rid of stuff, and the whole get rid of stuff. I'm just not a hoarder, and stuff gets accumulated, and you're like, what is this, and why have I had it for so long? Gotta go.
Yeah,
But other than
yeah.
that, it was very resting and relaxing.
That's a constant battle in my house. I have
Yeah.
three kids and a wife who hoards
They're
everything.
little, right?
So yeah, it's like, okay, if I'm buying you 10 toys, you have to get rid of 20 in order for the math to math itself.
I
Yeah,
like
and
that.
that always goes over
Yeah.
well,
I
right?
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
well it's usually me going in there and going, okay, I'm taking this one and throwing it away. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't make your own decision, I'm making it for you.
Yeah, and don't tell my wife,
So-
but I actually have taken things and just gotten rid of them.
Oh, I have too.
Without telling her.
Oh, that's dirty.
And
I know
she-
my wife doesn't listen, so
but she doesn't even know it. That's the thing. Like,
and
you know
it'll
what I
be
mean?
years before she'll go. One of these days, though, she'll be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, what happened to that?" Blah blah. And
That's
you're
like a
"Oh,
nightmare.
what do I
of
tell
mine.
her?
I would hate
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Well, we were
it's
talking
funny.
about in the new segment, Mooresville Superintendent and Iredell Chamber President shared their 2025 plans, and we were talking about the initiative with Mooresville Graded School District about the new career development plan. So another initiative that kind of goes with that is their Durable Skills Initiative. That's where they're teaching students skills like adaptability, collaboration, communication, which is an important one, critical thinking, and a learner's mindset. So that will help them take some personal responsibility and help students have a competitive advantage in the workforce. So also super important because we need to be preparing our kids to be in the workforce, and I feel like that's something that's not really been a focus in school, so I love hearing that.
Yeah, I also like the fact that a lot of kids are getting into trades again. The trades are super important. Not everybody needs to be a computer engineer or
Right.
a gamer or whatever. We need a skilled trades people and let's face it, those trades people make a lot of money.
Right.
Um,
Oh yeah.
And so it's
Mhm.
not like you're going to take a career that isn't going to sustain you. Those people, have healthy salaries, and we need them because the work they do is super important.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
And
know.
I love schools are kind of getting on board and recognizing
Mhm.
that. The other part of the plan was Statesville Chamber of Commerce and the downtown Statesville Development Corporation also shared their plans for 2025, which include planning for growth and then supporting local small businesses. Both of those things are important for this year, especially because housing studies show that Iredell County will grow by 4,000 homes a year for the next 10 years. So focusing on growth and how to make sure that we have infrastructure and plans in place to deal with that is going to be very important. Both organizations will also focus on supporting small businesses. Most of the dollars spent at a chain store leave the community. A dollar spent at a locally owned store circulates in the community 2 to 3 times. And so making sure that we're supporting small businesses so that they can be, sustained in our community with all the growth is important as well.
Yeah, and just a reminder about growth. Neither Christine nor I have anything to do with fixing 150. Okay, so don't call us and tell us about the 150 project, which was approved and is coming, but it's going to take a while.
We share information. We don't make the decisions.
Right.
So we're
right.
we're going to suffer through it just like everybody else. That's just the way it is.
Yes. But yeah, so nice to see people planning for some of these things in 2025.
All right. So I guess it might be time to introduce our guest again.
I think so.
So he's been sitting over there nice and quiet, although he has radio experience, so I'm surprised that he hasn't just leapt in.
No.
Yes.
This is not my show. I am not going to take over.
But you did have your own show on
I
WSIC
did,
back
yes.
in the day, right?
Yes, way back when WSIC was at its original studios in Statesville,
Yes.
over on Radio Road. I had my show for a while.
And what was your
Grown
show?
a bit since then.
The Inside Pass, which was it was on Tuesday mornings for a while, and then we went to Saturday mornings because they had a motorsports block that included Lenny Paticki, who is well known.
I know Lenny very well. Yes.
Community, really great guy. But they had a motorsports block, and so we did our show on Saturday morning. So
Sweet.
Nice.
it was awesome.
So is this the first time you've been back on the radio since?
Yeah, this is the first time.
Well,
so,
we're so excited.
Yes,
Get you
I
back
love it.
in
I love it.
the studio.
You brought me balloons and everything. It's great.
We
I
did.
appreciate
That's
that.
right. For our 50th special edition show, we got Randy Miller back in the studio.
Right.
Well, Randy, you lead the event services team at Charles Mack Citizen Center. Tell us a little bit about Charles Mack and what you do there.
So Charles Mack is an incredible place. Those of you who have never been there or have been there but never maybe hosted an event there or done an event there, it's an incredible facility. And I'm not just saying that because I work there. But in all seriousness, though, if you have ever wanted to throw yourself a party or somebody else a party, get married, anything that requires expertise in terms of getting your party ready to go or whatever, Charles Mack is definitely the place to go. There have been so many different things going on just in the year that I've been there. I can't even tell you just how many different cultures that I've seen and how many cool things that I've experienced just being in that building and seeing how many how things progress and how things come to life, and it's an incredible experience for sure.
Yeah, no, you're so right about that. The diverse events that are hosted in that building. I mean, you'll one day walk through and it's a corporate meeting and or conference trade show, and then the next day there's this beautiful elaborate setup because it's a cultural wedding and there's just gold ornate decorated. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous, and you never know what you're going to walk into in that building. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool to see it.
Yeah, and I'm sure from working there on a day-to-day basis, I mean, that that's probably nice, and that's definitely not the same thing every day.
Well, it's kind of sad too because you spend all that time putting it all together and getting it all looking nice, and then after the party, you're like, "Oh, I'm taking it out, put it up again for somebody else." But
I think what's interesting to me about the Charles Mack Citizen Center is, and I remember that building before it was, what it is now, and I think it's interesting if you don't go in from the outside. It's very nondescript. I mean, it blends into the facade of downtown Mooresville.
Right.
it looks like a bank
Right.
from the outside.
Yeah.
And
really
so, but once you go inside, it's this completely different world.
Yeah.
It's immense in there. It's huge, and you don't really get that from the street.
No, you don't. I mean, you have art, you have history. I mean, you can actually go inside the Charles Mack Citizen Center and take a walking art tour, take a walking history tour, enjoy lunch in the gardens. I mean, there's
you
so
wouldn't
many
know
things.
it's multi-levels too. From
Yeah.
the front.
That's true.
Yeah.
And obviously the topography of the street in the back going down allows for that. But until you go in, you really don't understand the complexity of that facility,
Right.
the size of the facility, and the beauty of the facility. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's a beautiful building.
It really is, and especially since the internal renovations a couple years ago. I mean, it really, really looks stunning. So Randy, tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to the Charles Mack Citizen Center in that role.
Well, it's funny because technically I don't have any like experience in terms of like what we do on a day-to-day basis, but just like in life in general. Or I spent 25 years in the retail world, and after COVID, COVID just killed a lot of the retail industry, and it became a thankless job. You work so hard, you have less staff, less money, less hours, and you still have to do the same amount of work. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted something more challenging. And I kind of always wanted to work in some sort of city government specter of some sort. So being able to move here from Texas and getting the opportunity to do this, it's just been incredible. It's been an amazing experience. I've learned a lot in the last year. And it's just, I don't know what led me there. I just thought, hey, event services is something, I've been a supervisor, I've been a store manager, I've been, district leader. And so it was just something I'm like, hey, I'm going to jump in with both feet and see what happens.
Now, did you move here from Texas for
I moved
this
here,
job?
yes. No. I moved here for motorsports, actually.
Okay.
WSIC. And then, when we stopped doing that, and I thought, after COVID, I need to do something else. I've been doing the same thing for 25 years. I need to do something different.
Yeah.
I feel you. After 25 years in racing, I was the same way.
Retail, being in retail, it still is in that realm of, it's customer service at the base of it.
Yeah. But it's you against, 75 or 100 customers at a time, as opposed to before COVID, you had the staffing to kind of help you, you not have to do everything at once.
Yeah.
And now, since COVID and, all of these businesses trying to figure out ways to save money, it's you and maybe one or two people in the store at one time. And the business is still there. People are still coming to shop. So you're running a register, being security, running a building, doing freight, like all this stuff at the exact same time. And it's becoming way too much for the money that you're getting paid to do.
And I would think Charles Mack is definitely, a transition from that. Whereas, you're in that environment, and then at the Charles Mack, you really get to get kind of one-on-one with people.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Work to make sure that their kind of vision comes to fruition with event setups and, what that looks like. And you get to be a part of their kind of special moments.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes it so special, is being able to be there for their wedding and their reception, or their birthday party, or whatever event they're having there. You feel like you're a part of it, and you've helped them create it, and you've helped them execute it. And I think that's the rewarding part of what we do, is being able to be there for these people for their monumental, momentous occasions.
Well, I can see how having a retail background would be extremely helpful in that environment, because clearly in retail, you're dealing with customers, you're focused on customer satisfaction and repeat customers and all of those things. And the true, the same holds true, I think, for the event services, business. It's a business, and ultimately you want people to come back or to recommend the facility to others that they know.
You want to be able to give them the experience to say, I'm going to tell all my friends that I had a great experience here, so that they come and book their parties here. And, it's to generate business, obviously, but it's also to have them walk away knowing that you can get better service anywhere else. I think that's the important part.
And part of that's due to the amazing staff that we have at the Charles Mack Citizen Center. Shout out.
I mean, it's not just me. I do have people that are just as dedicated to the team as me. But
and shout out to Tracy Beam. Shout out to Karen Tozzi, Michael Thompson, Sarah Johnson. I'm sure I'm missing people, but they do a great job.
They all do a fantastic job, for sure.
All right. We'll be right back with Heart Mooresville here on WSIC.
Stay in the know with all things Mooresville. Heart Mooresville continues next on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, keep an eye out for a few slick spots and a little bit of black ice, mainly north of the lake for the early morning travel. Otherwise, sunshine comes back today. It's still cold, though, with high temperatures into the low 40s and a bit breezy for our Tuesday afternoon as well. Temperatures go back down to around 20, even some upper teens around the outlying spots and farms tonight. We're cold, low 40s for our Wednesday, tracking our next potential winter weather system on the way by Friday and into Saturday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Looking for a large private room for your next work function? Or maybe you need a place to bring the whole family for a delicious meal? Pomodoros of Mooresville has the perfect space for your crowd. Book your next event at pomodoros.com.
How about savings off a brand new car? Randy Marion Ford Lincoln in Statesville. We've got our service loaners with just a few thousand miles on them. Save thousands of dollars on all makes and models. That's F-150, Expedition, Explorers, Lincolns, Corsair, Navigator. I tell you, these cars are like brand new. Never been titled. You're the first owner. Save thousands. Randy Marion Ford Lincoln, I-77, right here in Statesville. You know where we are, folks. Right where the spinning car is. That's where the deals are. Randy Marion Ford Lincoln. Come see us today.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Harrison's is the home of Work, Western, and Wow! We're the Southeast leader in Carhartt, and nobody has more in-stock work boots. The store is filled with Ariat, Cinch, Wrangler, and more. Get great clothing and footwear for the whole family at Harrison's. Find us on Norman Station Boulevard in Mooresville.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
The #1 station for people who say we're their favorite station.
WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Back to the office, everyone. JP Morgan Chase, the biggest bank in the nation, is preparing to end its remote hybrid work option and require all employees to return to the office full-time. Official announcement is expected in coming weeks. Although a major policy change, it's not a major surprise. CEO Jamie Dimon has said publicly he thinks people work better when they're together. Stock in Meta Platforms is sliding more than 3% as the market tries to gauge the long-term effect of the company's big reveal today, ending third-party fact-checkers on its platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. Instead, it will implement an approach nearly identical to what X, formerly Twitter, uses, a crowdsourced note system where users comment on content accuracy. Meta says the old system has been too restrictive, often blocking harmless content and penalizing users. Wall Street's indexes lower, Dow losing 0.25%, S&P down 0.75%, NASDAQ down 1.5%. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
No radio? No worries.
Just ask Alexa to play WSIC.
Looking good, Mooresville. I mean, you're sitting at that traffic light too. Might as well be looking at something. iHeart Mooresville continues now on WSIC.
And we're back with iHeart Mooresville here on WSIC News. Still playing balloon volleyball because we can't resist with our special anniversary balloons.
I don't juggle, but I can juggle balloons, and that's weird. I don't know. I don't understand.
Because you've got they've got that stay up in them.
Trying to figure my life out, and I still can't figure it out.
Well, welcome back. We are talking with Randy Miller, supervisor over at the Charles Mack Citizen Center. Randy's telling us a bit about how he came into that role and what his day looks like over at Charles Mack. Randy, do you have any standout events that have been hosted? I mean, you've been there for a while now. Are there any that really stand out?
I mean, there's so many different unique events, as we've mentioned. But the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame last year was an incredible experience because I missed it last year by like a week or two. And I was disappointed because I'm a country guy, so Scotty McCreery was there. And I was like, I I'm going to miss it. I didn't get to see it. But and I know we had it at Impact last year. But this year we brought it in-house and did it in our building. And it was a great night. It was a cool night of, nostalgic music and, just the setup that we did for it and just the experience of being there for it was really cool. And we've had lots of cultural events, like I said. We have a lot of Indian cultural events, and they had what they call a dadi, which I don't still really know what it is. I think it's something similar to what like a quinceanera would be for Hispanic heritage, but they go all out for their parties, and they decorated the entire building, and they had this fruit spread that had the child's name on it, and the courtyard had like a carnival, so they had ice cream, and not like the scoopable ice cream, like the Cold Stone Creamery, with the cold stone thing, and they had to do the mix-ins and stuff. They had freshly squeezed mango juice. They brought the kid in on a horse and carriage.
Oh,
It
wow.
was
So
incredible.
a production.
It was
Okay.
it was a whole day of just, the kid was like half asleep by the time the event was over. He's like, I'm done.
I bet.
But it was super cool. And they always do those really cool, like cultural things. And it's amazing. You have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, some of those event setups can be very elaborate, but it's really nice to see. I mean, your team works so hard to, help put everything together, and then when it comes out and everyone's really, happy, and what a memory for the family, and yeah, that's pretty cool. It's nice to be a part of that. So what advice would you give someone, wanting to plan an event? I mean, not everyone has that experience. Not everyone is an event planner. And I know, being at the MAC for the time that I was there were very, people that came in and they were very, very nervous, didn't know where to start and where to begin because they didn't have that experience. And, oh my gosh, now I've been put in charge and I have to plan my daughter's wedding or my sister's wedding. And, not everyone can afford a professional event planner. So what advice do you give those people?
I mean, first of all, I feel like it's okay to say I don't know, or I'm not sure, or anything like that, because by any means we are no professionals. We aren't professional decorators. We aren't professional planners. We aren't anything like that. We're just we're the same as everybody else that walks through the door. I think what sets us apart is we've done it before. Like we've planned weddings. We've planned
the experience.
Right. We have the experience to
I would say you are professionals at this point.
We're borderline like, kind of not professionals, if that makes sense. But just to be able to walk in and it's okay to not know what you want. We can help you. We can figure out with you what you want. And we'll keep working at it until we get it to perfection. So, you may think you want this, and then when you see it, you're like, I don't really like that. Okay, well, we'll change it. We'll fix it. We'll make it however you want it to be. This is your dream wedding, your dream event, your dream party. Let's make it what you really want it to be. Let's leave you with a lasting memory. So.
And I know the Charles Mack has some, different spaces. And how do you work with them to determine, what space best fits their needs? Because I know there's like the Moore Room, and it's right off of Main Street, lots of windows. So I'm sure lighting, is a factor in that. What do you kind of do for that?
So we usually have a couple of people that are designated to sort of walk with these, with the guest, and they walk through the building and say, hey, this is what are you wanting? Like, what's your vision for your party? Okay, well, look at this room. This is what we think that you would like. If we put the DJ here, the dance floor here, kind of walk them through what we would do if it was our party or how we would set it up. And go, hey, what do you think about this? We typically will send them a diagram so they can kind of see on paper what they think they might look like. And they're more than welcome to come in 3 or 4 or 5 times and it's kind of, take pictures, look around, kind of, figure out what their diagram wants to be. Or even if they're having a similar party to theirs, hey, why don't you come in, when this is set up so you can kind of see, with your own eyes what this party looks like. So you may kind of get some ideas on color schemes or, setup or things like that. So it's always a constant, moving things around just to kind of help them out. But anything that we can help show them visually what they think they might want to see, then that's what we're all about.
I think it's really cool too, because I've, in gone through that building a couple times and accidentally one time walked into a closet area and it was huge.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But no, what was in there was fascinating because the different setups of tablecloths and linens and curtains and all of these things that people don't really see, but obviously contribute to the experience and the individuality associated with an event. So talk about that.
Yeah. So if you think about when you're trying to plan a wedding or a party, you think, standard colors, red, red, white, blue, green, yellow, whatever. But then you walk into the mystery closet that you walked into, and you see we have patterns and we have, styles and we have material, and you're like, like it's mind blowing, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's 97 more things I didn't know about. But again, that's okay. I mean, you can test different things. We can look at different patterns and different materials, and just we want it to be what you want it to be. So if there's something we don't have, we can try to get it. I mean, there's things that we can get for you. But yeah, there's a lot of hidden things that people don't actually see.
Yeah.
But until you walk into that mystery closet, and it's like a whole, it's like some rich person's mansion where they have the big walk-in closet with the mirrors, and the walls that spin around and have other, it's crazy. But yeah, there's tons and tons of options for you for sure.
I feel like that's one of the things that kind of makes Charles Mack Citizen Center unique from other venues is they do have such a selection. What are some other things that you feel like set the Charles Mack Citizen Center apart from other venues?
So customer service wise, you won't find a better facility for your event than us, I feel like. And I've been to several events at other facilities where the customer service just wasn't there. But we definitely take care of you from the time you walk in to the time you're done and you're leaving the building for the night. We definitely make sure that your event is top notch. The fees are also something that we take pride in making sure we don't overcharge you or charge you at all for certain things, because it's enough taxing on you to plan your party, much less having to worry about paying for this and that and everything else. And then we have things that other places don't have. We have a massive dance floor. We have overhead ceiling drapery. We have lights. We have up lights, and we have all kinds of things to make your party special. And you won't fiand that at other venues.
And AV and audio.
AV and audio, which just got an upgrade, by the way, which is it's second to none. I mean, it's a great audio. In all the rooms, the auditorium sounds amazing. And it just got a new floor put in not too long ago. So it's you won't find a better facility.
And it's free. AV is free, right?
Yeah, it comes with your room.
That's crazy. I don't think I don't think I've ever ran across that. That's pretty cool.
And we're
able to do
I
that.
don't want to say experts. We have people that know how to hook it up for you. We're none of us are experts at it, but we can help you with the audio visual part of it too. So.
And the town has the IT team for that.
Right, exactly.
To be
people that get paid way more money than I do to fix the problems that we have. So.
Talk about skills and trades, right?
Yes.
That's one to go in
There
right
you go.
now. The
That's
IT
true.
guy at every place is probably one of the most sought after. Well, I guess, being at Charles Mack for how long have you been? It's been a little
over a year.
A year now. You celebrated your 1 year anniversure.
October 30th.
October
The day
30th.
before Halloween.
That's awesome. So happy 1 year.
Thank you.
Almost 1 year and a couple months now. So I'm sure you see, so many people that come into that facility. What do you feel like you get, the most requests for when they come in?
Most of it's just, a lot of people don't understand the audio-visual part of it, and so they're always asking for help. But they really don't. I think we do a great job of the planning part of it, so when they get there, they don't really have anything really that they want differently. They may want us to move some tables around, or, hey, the DJ would be better on this side of the room, or, that kind of thing. But, they're really, you don't get a lot of requests.
What about types of events?
Weddings. We do a lot of weddings, and they're all different, every single one of them. But it's a lot of weddings, a lot of, the Sweet 16 parties, 60th birthday parties we're getting a lot of lately, baby showers, just any type of party, really.
So really, just about anything.
Yeah.
I think people would be surprised at how many weddings actually take place. And Mooresville itself is a huge wedding destination.
That's true.
With the lake, there's a lot of lake venues. Charles Mack has kind of that historic downtown feel, so it's a little bit different. A lot of weddings that happen.
The fountain and then the area that we have the weddings in and the garden is a great place. So.
All right. We'll be right back with Heart Mooresville here on WSIC.
We'll be right back with more Heart Mooresville on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, keep an eye out for a few slick spots and a little bit of black ice, mainly north of the lake for the early morning travel. Otherwise, sunshine comes back today. It's still cold, though, with high temperatures into the low 40s and a bit breezy for our Tuesday afternoon as well. Temperatures go back down to around 20, even some upper teens around the outlying spots and farms tonight. We're cold, low 40s for our Wednesday, tracking our next potential winter weather system on the way by Friday and into Saturday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Karaoke is back at Micaiah's Bar on Thursday, January 9th. You asked, and Micaiah's came through with CJ the DJ. Karaoke starts at 8 p.m. and ends when everyone stops singing. Bring your performance, no matter how good or bad you think you are. Come have a night full of fun with karaoke at Micaiah's in Mooresville on Thursday, January 9th. Friday night, Callista Jade will perform at the Wine Maestro in downtown Statesville. The singer and guitarist will begin her set at 7 p.m. Come on out for a fun night Friday at the Wine Maestro in Statesville. This Saturday is the Chili Plunge and Chili Cook-Off at the Lake Norman YMCA. This free, family-friendly event promises to be lots of fun, whether you take the waterfront plunge or hang out enjoying homemade chili and s'mores. Post-plunge, you are welcome to warm up in the YMCA sauna or steam rooms. Proceeds benefit the YMCA annual campaign. Register for the Chili Plunge and Chili Cook-Off at ymcacharlotte.org. 'Tis the season to lace up your skates at Burkdale on Ice, happening now through January 26th. For the third year, Burkdale Village in Huntersville has an ice skating rink, and they can't wait to lace up their skates with you. Ice skating reservations to ensure skating time slots are accepted. Walk-ups are also welcome. Go to BurkdaleVillage.com for details, information, and tickets to Burkdale on Ice. Get behind the wheel and drive a NASCAR race car at Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you don't want to drive, go for a NASCAR ride-along. The NASCAR racing experience is as real as it gets. There is no lead car to follow, and no instructor rides with you when you drive. Book your NASCAR racing experience today at 704-886-2400. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for details and more information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Call now to speak with iHeart Mooresville hosts Christine Patterson and Don Smyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's iHeart Mooresville on WSIC.
All right, welcome back to iHeart Mooresville, our 50th show. Woo! As we kick off 2025, and we've had a fun and enlightening conversation today with Randy Miller, who heads up the team at Charles Mack Citizen Center, and we appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun.
So tell us a little, just as we kind of in this this segment, how people can get in touch with you, learn about what what you offer. What's the process of starting this whole process, for lack of a
So the arts and events team came up with a very wonderful website. It's experiencecmcc.com. And you can find all of the information about our packages and everything that we offer at Charles Mack, as well as the upcoming events. We do a lot of stuff in the auditorium. We've got lots of cool events coming up over the course of the winter and early part of the spring, and then we get into Rock the Park, and that's a whole other conversation. But experiencecmcc.com.
All right. Well, that sounds like a one-stop shop.
Yes.
Yes.
No excuse not to know.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun. I missed it.
Get you back in the studio.
Yeah.
So as we kick off 2025, I wanted to touch on a few things happening in the Parks and Recreation ecosystem. We have, obviously I always say we have events from 5 to 95. If you're 5 to 95, we got you covered. There's something for everybody. But we have an art exploration program, which is going to be happening January 11th at the Selma Burke Recreation Center. You can unlock your creativity in this engaging and hands-on art exploration class. So whether you're interested in learning the basics or taking your craft skills to the next level, this is the place you want to go. So you can visit mooresvillerecreation.org, click on the programs tab to learn more. And this, again, is January 11th at Selma Burke Recreation Center. And we also have a creative writing program, also at Selma Burke Recreation Center, Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. So again, you can grab your computer, your pen, your pencil, or chisel and rock. Let's get writing, right? Again, a creative writing opportunity for adults at the Selma Burke Recreation Center if you want to unlock your creativity or take it to the next level. And for those who enjoy the gaming world, we have a 3D gaming program, Dice, Decks, and Duels.
Oh.
Say that 3 times fast.
I know. I I'm afraid.
Dice, decks, and
I'd
duels.
rather pass.
Yeah, you could get in trouble with that one.
I'm not gonna
Dice,
try that.
decks, and duels. So gather your friends every Monday and Wednesday to play a variety of classic card games, dice games, and board games. Feature, programs like Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, many more. So this happens at the War Memorial Recreation Center on Mondays and Wednesdays from 3 to 5 p.m. And I feel like gaming is coming back. Like
Yeah.
board games and things like that are kind of
Yeah.
making a comeback. So again, if you're into that, War Memorial Recreation Center has you covered on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then our ever popular Fit and Strong program, which happens at the Winnie Hooper Recreation Center. And this is a program for active older adults. But what's interesting about this program is it really started out as kind of an opportunity for people just to get out and get active, but it really turned into a community of like-minded individuals. Those individuals that participate in this program are so enthusiastic, and they've made lifelong friendships and met new people, and it's just this community of really engaged older adults who want to stay active. And this is a nationally recognized program, so it's not something specific to Mooresville, but we're lucky to have it in our Parks and Rec system. But it gives you the chance to improve your flexibility, your balance, your strength, cardiovascular endurance. This happens at the Winnie Hooper Recreation Center on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 to 11 a.m. So again, visit mooresvillerecreation.org to learn about all of our programs and sign up. And I also want to say we'll have more information about this coming up, but we're going to be having a Summer Camp Expo, the first annual Summer Camp Expo, which is happening at the Charles Mack Citizen Center in February. And it's an opportunity for you to come out and not only engage with Parks and Recreation and learn about our summer camp programs, but all of the camp opportunities in and around Iredell County. There'll be a lot of businesses there that are somewhat related to children and athletics and healthcare and a lot of things like that. So it's a great opportunity to come out, spend an afternoon learning not only about summer camp within the Parks and Rec system, but all the other opportunities.
Yeah, anyone with kids, you need to be there for sure.
We'll be talking more about that in the future and about summer camp in 2025.
Nice. Lots of things going on. Well, Mooresville Arts and Events is the hub of all things community and engagement, and we have you covered. So our indoor performing arts music series has already kicked off with our Beatlesque show. Our next show is January 17th, Smokey Robinson's The Miracles. Unfortunately, it's sold out, so there are no tickets available, but it's going to be a great show.
That's great.
I mean, it's unfortunate for you if you want a ticket, but we have lots of other opportunities for you.
If you want to get in on the action in Mooresville, you got to get in.
That's right.
Don't procrastinate.
I'm just showing you what you're missing out on, okay? So. Also, just a couple days after that, on January 20th is the MLK, Martin Luther King Day celebration, and that is also at the Charles Mack Citizen Center.
See?
Tickets are now available. Tickets are no cost, but you do have to reserve your space because we do have limited availability. I think we're about 350 seats available, but tickets are available at mooresvilleevents.com. They'll start out with a peace walk at 9 a.m. and then a program and breakfast at 9:30. And it's really going to be a great program this year, so I would definitely recommend you get your tickets reserved. February 14th and 15th, we are bringing back the Murder Mystery Dinner Theater. It's both nights, 2 nights this year because we sold out so quick last year. So we do have tickets left. I think Saturday is going fast. Friday, there's a few more, but that will definitely be a sellout both nights. So make sure to get your tickets at mooresvilleevents.com.
Can I play the corpse?
Sure. Both nights, you'll get killed.
Okay.
2 nights.
I
2
love
nights
it.
in a row.
It's a great Valentine's Day date. Saturday's Valentine's Day. So
I always say, like, what better way to celebrate Valentine's Day than
with a murder
and
mystery?
mayhem?
Yeah, that's perfect.
And then March 22nd, I cannot believe we're already talking about this again, but Mooresville Day. So our great festival that celebrates
the third annual
Mooresville, all things Mooresville,
the third annual.
The third
Can you
annual.
believe that?
I know.
It feels like we just had the first one.
I know. I feel like a whole 2022
and we skipped
never
the
happened.
second one, and now we're back. We're at 3. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy. But the school mascot dance competition takes place there. We have an artisan market, family fun zone, performances. It's a great event. 12 to 4 in downtown Mooresville.
So is this just Main Street this year, or are you doing Broad as well?
Broad and Main Street.
Yeah, because that expansion last year with the craft market and all of the vendors, everything was a lot of fun.
Same deal. We kind of take over downtown and make sure that we utilize all the areas, and there's great businesses and shops in downtown, and we want people to visit those.
And I
as
love
well.
the fact that Christine always dials up great weather for these events.
Always. And that's what we've got on tap for this year, too. Beautiful weather on March 22nd when it is, who knows if it's going to be rain or shine. No, it's going to be beautiful. And then there's some great events happening around town that are not hosted by arts and events, but are still great events. Hoptown Brewery is hosting their 3rd annual Mac and Cheese Throwdown, January 26th. There's cash prizes. So if you
forget the cash prizes, I just want the mac and cheese.
Right.
I know. Beer and mac and cheese.
Ugh.
Doesn't that sound amazing?
I'm hungry right now.
Yeah. I want to go to Hoptown
We
today.
need to have like a food episode and have somebody come on that brings us something to eat.
Dawn just
'Cause
wants to be fed.
I'm sorry, but we have
Yes.
pizza people on here and we have bakery people on here, and nobody ever brings us anything.
No one ever feeds us.
Right? It's like, come on.
We're going to have to talk to our scheduler, Leslie, and say, food is required.
I'm going to call DoorDash and have a pizza delivered next time. So.
But yes, mac and cheese. If you like mac and cheese, go to Hoptown on January 26th. Fred and June's Books. They have some really cool
That's
events.
a great place to be.
I love Fred and June. So they're located at their bookstore downtown Mooresville on Main Street. They're offering a Love and Literature After Dark book club. So it's at 8 p.m., obviously, after dark. Wolf E by Paisley Hope is the topic of the book. That's the topic of discussion for January 15th at 8 p.m. But very cool. And they've got some other, like, scrapbooking, like make your kind of like a vision notebook. I don't know. They have all these different events that really sound cool. I want to go to one.
Yep. They have a lot of kids programs, too. A lot of kids read-alongs and stuff like that, too.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah, I definitely have to make my way over. Aqua Ragazza is celebrating their 1-year anniversary bash of their food, wine, and flavor series that they do, and that's January 16th at 6:30. It sounded very enticing and yummy. It's like wine and gourmet appetizers.
She's teasing you with food again, Dawn.
I know. And I don't know why, but for some
Yummy.
reason, Eat a Bowl just popped in my head. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a while.
You should go
Oh my
today for
gosh,
lunch.
It's so good.
And then lastly, Micaiah's Tavern and Tunes. Have you ever been to Micaiah's?
Here we go again with the
No.
food.
No, they're like a bar, but they do have food. It's such a cool little like place. I feel like a lot of people don't know about it, but
Where is it?
It's like right off of exit 33. They stay open later than a lot of places, and they have live music, I think Thursday through Sunday. Well, Dial Up Radio, who was one of our bands for the Bands Brews and Barbecue Festival last year, they're playing there January 11th at 9:30 p.m. and they're going to unveil some new music.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
So lots of opportunities to engage, connect in the community, get out, experience Mooresville. We've got you covered.
ExperienceCMC.com.
Experience.
Experience.
CMCC.
So the word of the day.
Experience.
Experience.
Get out. Experience your community.
Depends on where you're
That's
from. So if you're like deep south, experience it.
Experience.
Experience it.
That's right. Go out and experience downtown Mooresville.
Yes.
Yes. Lots of things.
I always
to
say,
do.
like, if you looked up Mooresville or looked up downtown in the dictionary, it would be a picture of Mooresville. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's the kind of picturesque aspect that's great about Mooresville.
True.
Is, and this year with the Christmas celebrations and the wreaths and everything
Yeah.
hanging across the street
Oh,
and the
it's
lights, and it would just
picturesque.
It was
Oh,
beautiful.
gorgeous.
And then you made it snow.
Yeah, and then then it snowed, and it was just, mind blowing. It was gorgeous. But I feel like we used to, look for things to do. Like, gosh, what is there to do? There's nothing to do in my town. That is not the problem
No.
that we have now.
And now people can go somewhere, right, to find out all this information.
They can go to mooresvilleevents.com to find out all the good things coming up.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Happy 50th anniversary.
Happy 50th
50th
episode.
show. Yeah.
We haven't been doing this for 50 years yet.
All right, we're going out with a bang.
Oh, there you go. Good job.
Oh, how about that?
See you
All
next
right.
week.
All right, take care, Mooresville.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.9 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.